So Vanguard has launched not just one, but three brand new ETFs to the UK market. These are the Vanguard FTSE Global Small Cap ETF, the Vanguard FTSE All World Excluding US ETF, and the one that most people are going to be interested in here, I think, is the Vanguard FTSE Global All Cap ETF. And this is the one that I'm going to be focusing on today. I'm going to give you all of the details on this brand new ETF. I'm also going to compare it to the Vanguard FTSE All World ETF, which is the current offering that they do have as a global fund. And then after all of that, I'm actually going to be talking about whether I'm going to be switching my funds from my global ETF. I've got over £130,000 invested into that, into this brand new fund now that it's finally out. Okay, so I've got my phone here with some notes on this, just go through it and why is it such big news. But I guess the first thing that's worth noting is that this isn't actually the first time that Vanguard has offered an all-cap fund to UK investors. They do currently have one, which is VFFTGAG. I'll throw the ticker symbol up. But the only difference here is that this fund is offered as a mutual fund. This is the first time that Vanguard is offering a global all-cap ETF to its investors in the UK. ETFs are generally considered to be much lower fees and much easier to invest into. Just taking a look on the fund page, which is quite limited because there's no portfolio data, there's no past performance data, no dividend payouts or anything like that. But the limited information that we do have is that the ticker symbol is VALL or VALL, however you want to say it, and this tracks the global all cap index. So basically this fund is pretty much as global as you can get. This fund is going to track large, mid and small, which is going to be the key word here, companies all over the globe. And whilst it doesn't say on the fund page how many stocks are actually on there, the press release that they put out a couple of days ago has confirmed that there's going to be roughly over 7,000 stocks inside this fund. If I think I was going to compare it to the American version of this, whilst it doesn't really matter too much, I think there's about 10,000 in that one. So there's a little less, but this isn't confirmed. It's just saying over 7,000 for now. This fund was created on the 18th of August, so extremely recent, and it was listed on the London Stock Exchange on the 20th of August, so a couple of days later. Now, let's talk about the main talking point of this fund, and that is the fee. 0.07% is the fee on this fund, which makes it extremely cheap. I don't want to quote it, but I think it's now the cheapest global ETF offered to UK investors, and this is only going to do one thing to the other ETF providers, and that's going to get them to wake up and potentially think about dropping their fees, because this is going to be extremely competitive, especially to new investors coming into the market. Now personally, I don't know how they've been able to get this fee this cheap. My thoughts have always been the more stocks inside a fund or the more diversified it is, normally the higher the fee. I've always used that model when comparing my Vanguard S&P 500 fund to the Vanguard All World fund when I was comparing the two there. This one just knocks that knowledge or that assumption out of the water completely. I'm sure somebody at Vanguard or somebody much smarter when it comes to ETS has got a better explanation, but I just don't know how they got that fee this cheap for this fund, other than just they're trying to be as competitive as possible. I know that recently Vanguard has been dropping the fees on all of their other funds, and it could just be the fact that they are just trying to compete in the market. But regardless of what the explanation is, I am absolutely here for it. Just a couple of other things to mention. The price of the ETF is really cheap. It's £3.50. The one thing to say on this though, you should never look at the price of any kind of fund or stock by itself and judge whether that's a good investment. Where it can make a difference though is if you are investing on a platform that does not offer fractional investing. This may be a little bit more accessible because of how cheap the price of one share actually is. And the other thing, and the final thing, is this only offers an accumulation version at the moment and no distributing version. Whether the distributing version will come in the future, I don't know. I'm sure somebody will know in the comments down below, so let me know. But there is only an accumulating version of this fund, so you cannot get paid your dividends in cash if you wanted to invest into this fund straight away. Now, a lot of people watching this will already be aware of Vanguard's current offering of an all-world ETF, which is Vanguard's FTSE All-World ETF, VWRP or VWRL if you want the distributing version. I currently have over £130,000 invested inside this ETF, and it's the only ETF that I actually hold inside my portfolio. And the big question, I guess, is what are the main differences between VWRP or VWRL and VALL, the brand new global all cap ETF? And what I've actually done is drafted in somebody that knows way more about ETFs than funds than I do, Tom's Personal Finance, to go through all of these key differences. So Tom, take it away.
Thanks, Christos. Now, there's really two main differences between the Vanguard FTSE Global All Cap, ticker VAL, the new ETF, and the existing Vanguard FTSE All World, ticker VWRP. The first is the indexes that these ETFs track. The FTSE Global All Cap VAL tracks the FTSE Global All Cap Index, and VWRP tracks the FTSE All World Index. Both of these indexes track stocks in developed and emerging markets. However, the Global All Cap tracks stocks of all market capitalizations, companies of all market values, large-sized companies, medium-sized companies, and small-sized companies. On the other hand, the FTSE All World only includes stocks of large and mid-market capitalizations. Resultingly, the number of holdings in these ETFs do vary quite a bit. The Global All Cap ETF is looking like it will have around 7,000 holdings. This isn't confirmed on the fund page, but in Vanguard's launch article, they did mention that their Global All Cap ETF will have over 7,000 holdings. On the other hand, if we look at the fund page for the Vanguard FTSE All World, we can see the number of holdings is around 3,700. The Global All Cap, therefore, will have around double the number of holdings as the FTSE All World. Now, it's important to keep in mind that although the number of holdings is a lot higher for the Global All Cap, the performance of these ETFs won't vary that much, and that's because they're market cap weighted. The greater the market value of a company, the greater the weightings it has in these ETFs. So the small-sized companies that are included in the Global All Cap will have quite a small weighting, and their performance isn't as important as the large and mid-cap companies that are also included. The other main differences between these two ETFs is the fees, the total expense ratios. The Vanguard FTSE All World, until about a year or so ago, had a total expense ratio of 0.22%. We have, however, seen some fee cuts. We saw it drop to 0.19%, and then recently it's even dropped to 0.14%, which can be considered quite cheap. However, what is really surprising about this new Global All Cap ETF is that it's launching with a 0.07% total expense ratio. So it offers a greater level of diversification, and it has a lower total expense ratio. The last caveat we should give here is that a greater level of diversification does not mean better. You may not want small caps included in your portfolio, and there's no guarantee that including small caps will lead to better performance. It could lead to worse performance. It all depends on how these small-sized companies are included perform.
What an absolute legend. So, now that we know all of the new details of this new fund and we know the differences between this new fund and the current all-world offering, which is VWRP, the big question that everybody has is, should you be switching to this new fund? Now, I can only tell you what I'm going to be personally doing myself. I cannot advise you what you should be doing with your portfolio, and you should always make that decision for yourself. So I will tell you what I'm doing. And despite the drop in fees, despite pretty much doubling the size of the fund in terms of how many stocks are actually inside it, and the inclusion of small cap stocks inside this fund as well, I'm personally not going to be switching. First up, the fee, the 0.14% that I'm now paying on my FTSE All World ETF is still ridiculously cheap in comparison to all of the other funds that are currently on the market right now. It's also one of the most competitive fees when you compare all of the other providers of an all-world index tracking ETF as well. So that really doesn't sell me too much on the fee. I know it's ridiculously cheap, but there we go on that. The other thing is the stocks inside the portfolio. Yes, there are 7,000 stocks inside the brand new portfolio, but my fund already has 3,500 stocks inside it, which is a ridiculous amount of stocks inside. And then the final thing is the small cap stocks. Now, the one thing that I will say is that these funds, and this ETF in particular, are market cap weighted, which basically means the higher the market cap that the company has, the more weighting it has inside this fund. There's going to be 7,000 stocks inside this fund. So the inclusion of small caps is great if that's what you want exposure to. But for me, whilst I don't have the data yet, these small caps are going to have such a small weighting, and I can't really see them making a big difference. Now, I could be completely wrong here, and the only way we're going to be able to tell is when portfolio data comes out. And that's the other thing with this fund. This is an extremely new fund. I have no details. I have no past performance on this fund. I don't know how it compares to my current all world fund. And this is a decision that I cannot make for the foreseeable future, maybe a year or even 2 years down the line as well. But regardless of what I decide to do, what you decide to do, this is really positive moves coming from Vanguard. I think the introduction of these new ETFs and what they did a couple of weeks ago where they dropped the fees of some of the older ETFs, including VWRP, is only going to make other fund providers wake up and get more competitive, which is only going to benefit one person, and that is us, the investors. But regardless of that, let me know what you're doing in the comments down below. Let me know if you're excited about this new ETF, and I'll see you in the next one.